Welcome into the Dallas Cowboys Report for the second time. Today's show presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Post your job for free if you have your own small business trying to hire at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. The breaking news, as broken by Patrick Walker, now with DallasCowboys.com. The Cowboys have cut wide receiver Dennis Houston. That is the rookie UDFA who had made the Cowboys 53-man roster as that UDFA and was even playing over Jalen Tolbert. But the Cowboys, in what is a bit of a surprise move, and this is officially announced by the team, by the way, have cut Dennis Houston. Now, he was playing over Jalen Tolbert. We'll break down what this means for Tolbert and Michael Gallup here in a little bit. But Houston is now subject to waivers for the Dallas Cowboys after being a pretty key contributor for this team at wide receiver the first two games, 60 offensive snaps. That was behind only Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb. Dennis Houston, for the opening stretch of the two games this year, he was actually, as weird as this sounds, he was wide receiver 3 for this team, but he did not do much. Just 6 targets, 2 catches for 16 yards, most of that damage coming in week 1 with Dak. He kind of been phased out of the offense by week 2 as well. Dennis Houston was liked by this coaching staff. He did the little things right, the things that don't show up necessarily in the stat sheet. It's a 6-yard comeback route. He ran it at 6. Not 5, not 7. It was the right route. He did not round his route coming over the middle. He was in the right place at the right time. Dak seemed to like him. But we also know the Cowboys are getting reinforcements at wide receiver, as we'll get into in a little bit. And Houston didn't do much of anything. He didn't make a huge impact. There were maybe a few plays he got open if the O-line or the read had gone there. It never happened that way through no fault of really even the quarterbacks, and both Rush and Dak were Houston's fault. The goal here for the Cowboys now is to get him back to the practice squad. There are spots open right now on that side for Dallas. Remember, they had cut John Ridgeway before week 2. He had been claimed on waivers by the Commanders. This week, he was going to try to get to the practice squad as well. There was already a freed open spot. Much like Ridgeway, Houston is subject to waivers 24 hours from the new league day once that move becomes officially official within the NFL system. So I think he'll clear waivers since, 2 catches, 16 yards, and he's a UDFA. Normally you get those guys through waivers. So give me your one-word reaction to cutting Dennis Houston. I'm going to give you mine in a second, but I want to hear from you, the true diehard Cowboys fans out there. One-word reaction to the cut of Dennis Houston. This is the pinned comment on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, give me one-word reaction. My one word is Gallup. And those of you who have been subscribed for a long time here at the Cowboys Report, dating back to the middle part of the offseason, we kind of had mentioned that the Cowboys' plan had been Michael Gallup to return for Monday Night Football against the Giants. That was their goal. Now, it is not a guarantee that Gallup ends up playing, but releasing your number 3 receiver is a pretty good hint, to me at least, that the Cowboys think Michael Gallup will be out there in week 3 against the Giants alongside CeeDee Lamb, along with Noah Brown. Again, it is not necessarily a guarantee from this perspective. There is no promise from me or the Cowboys or Gallup that he will play in week 3. But you've heard Jerry Jones say if this was the Super Bowl, he'd be playing in week 1. Sounds like his injury recovery has gone pretty well. As a gambling man, I think Gallup's going to play in week 3 on Monday night. It's not a lock. Got to get through a week of practice, look good, no setbacks, farewell, all that good stuff. But the trend has been Gallup week 3 for the Cowboys. Do you think it happens? Sound off for me in the comment section. Y for yes or N for no. Today's show is made possible by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. We'll talk about a guy here in a minute who might be getting a new job chance for the Cowboys. I'll explain what I mean by that in a little bit. But these days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. I know that's how it feels for us here at Chat Sports. We're hiring people. Normally, they turn out pretty good. Producer Coop? You're fine for now, my friend. Just enough pause to keep you concerned. But no, we found Coop through LinkedIn. They're awesome. Then it's very easy, by the way, to create your job post on LinkedIn, your free job post when you use linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Add your job, purple hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile. Spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you want to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. All right, so with a roster spot open, which we'll get to more in depth in a second, and with Houston no longer on the 53-man roster, this is what the wide receiver room looks like right now for the Cowboys. Lamb will continue as Gallup is injured. Noah Brown, Simi Fehoko, Kevontae Turpin, and Jalen Tolbert. Now, if Gallup cannot play in Week 3, I would assume would be active for the first time this year. He has been a healthy scratch. The Cowboys cite he was behind because of his injuries and special team stuff, which is them trying to protect their guys, saying, yeah, he hasn't been ready yet. Remember, Gallup early in his career, his first year, wasn't ready that much either. Tolbert appears to be on a somewhat similar train. Long term, I think we all knew it was going to be Tolbert over Houston. Cowboys helping to increase that possibility. Houston cut. Gallup's back soon. If he's not back Week 3, I bet you Tolbert is active. Now, when news happens, we break it down for you. So hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/Cowboys TV because the news is not done. Happens all the time, right? And the Cowboys now have a free roster spot open. So the question becomes, what are they going to do? Look, we'll break down some answers. Once we know what it is, there'll be a video. youtube.com/Cowboys TV. Like I mentioned, roster spot is now open. The Cowboys are still playing that juggling the roster game they've played really all season long. I'm going to break down some of the potential options here for the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's internally is where they're going to look. Big names like a Jason Peters, maybe a tight end, another quarterback in Will Grier. Before I break down what I think might happen, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you want the Cowboys to sign with this roster spot open? It can be a free agent if you want. I think they'll go internal, but the floor is yours. Let me know in the comment section. The Cowboys have played this fun game where, you can promote 2 players each week from the practice squad, no more than 3 times over the course of a season, to make it more than 53. Remember Week 1, they promoted their backup QB and their kicker, Rush and Maher, now on the full 53-man roster for Week 1. The numbers game the Cowboys are juggling this week is laid out as such. Rush is on your 53. You still need a backup quarterback promoted from the practice squad. So it's going to have to be Will Grier. So either you sign Will Grier to the active roster for now, knowing Dak could be back soon, or you promote him from the practice squad again, and that takes up one of your 2 spots. You also need, assuming Connor McGovern's out again this week, I think he will be, a backup interior offensive lineman. That is Alec Lindstrom. So that's 2 spots open filled, and you might need another tight end this week as well. Dalton Schultz battling a PCL injury. The Cowboys are thin at tight end on the active roster. Schultz has been the number 1. He's taken a massive volume of the snaps at tight end this year, understandably so. It's, you franchise tagged him for a reason, White. I don't know if Schultz will play in Week 3. If he can't play, given the Cowboys' desire to run so much 12 and 21 12 and even some 22 personnel with multiple tight end sets, you only have Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot on your active roster. So if Schultz can't go, you might want to have Sean McKeon up there from game day, but you can't promote 3 guys. So who do you promote? Maybe what you do is gamble on not promoting Alec Lindstrom this week. And instead, you get Jason Peters up to your 53-man roster. That's not a guarantee yet either. I kind of get the vibe the Cowboys might try to wait a little bit here. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not in terms of who they sign. Could be a Friday, Saturday, even a Sunday move for Dallas with playing on Monday Night Football here. I think if Peters practices well this week, maybe the Cowboys make him the active roster promotion since they are a little bit light on the offensive line. That way you could promote Will Grier, promote Sean McKeon if you think it's a short-term injury for Dalton Schultz, which I think they do at this point. So Peters is his name to keep an eye out for. Grier, maybe Sean McKeon as well to fill that roster spot. We'll see what the Cowboys do as practice gets going again on Wednesday in time for Monday Night Football. keep an eye on Jason Peters finally joining that 53-man roster. Remember, you need some time to ramp up, get back in true football shape. If he practices well, Cowboys might feel he's finally ready.